Welcome to the High Volume Hiring Podcast. I am Stephen Rothberg. I'm one of your co-hosts. And if our listeners are very lucky and want to be informed, the less I say in this episode, the better. Because there are two people in this episode, and I am not one of them, who actually know what they're talking about with this issue. And so I'm just going to tag along for the ride. But my co-host, Jeanette Leeds, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Hi, everyone. We're going to talk about workforce planning today. and I'm really excited because we have John Baldino, who's here with us, who knows way more than Stephen does.
Way more.
Way more.
So does my dog.
and if you don't know John, you need to, because he knows, I don't want to say everything about everything, but really.
Gosh, that's terrifying. Yes. We'll have my wife on the next episode who will refute everything that you just said.
Perfect. I love it. So for those listeners who maybe don't know John for some reason, and you should, John, just give a listener's quick, who are you? And by the way, I don't think I officially said welcome. So first, welcome. And now tell us about you.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. So currently the president of Humareso, which is a global HR consulting firm. I've been doing HR for over 35 years, which is outrageous. I started in personnel in 1988.
When they
personnel, I love it.
Yes. So it's been a while, and I've had all of the jobs and all of the talent acquisition and HR roles. Back when we didn't separate, you just were the, some jobs I was it. You got to do it all. Bring them in, keep them, and get rid of them. So it's been a fun time.
Literally. And that is why you know everything about everything.
Yeah,
Almost.
At least what not to do. Yes.
Exactly. Which is key. Love it. Well, since we know everything about everything, we're in a really interesting time right now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
before we get into what does it truly mean, or what does it mean to truly workforce plan, depending where you put the truly, what are you telling HR, TA pros just about the job market right now? Because it's not normal, and it
is not normal. That's actually the first thing I say is, we're used to looking at certain indicators, and saying, well, because of this, these three other things are going to be true.
Yeah.
It's not the case right now, right? This is part of it, I think, is because we are such a headline driven culture.
Yeah.
Until you read the headline, and you're like, oh, that's what it is. Everybody's being laid off. Yeah. And then you're a recruiter and you're like, everybody's being laid off. I can't find enough people. Right? How could that be? Where are all these laid off people? Tell them to come here. And, so it seems like there's this crazy dichotomy, and genuinely, I think that's a good place to start with. If you haven't had any of these conversations in your organization, just start with, isn't it weird right now?
Yeah.
And let people just sort of respond to that. It's easy to do.
I love it.
So for people who have been in this weird recruiting industry, 5, 10, what did you say? 30 years?
35 plus.
And they're used to kind of more of a normal market where they can actually do some predictions and say 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 18 months from now, this is what we need. And they come to you and they say, how do I plan when it's unplannable?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think the first thing is it's a mindset shift. That's a bit trite, and I understand that, but it is a mindset shift, because I look at talent acquisition as filling roles, order takers in some institutions. And while that may be the sort of title of things, I think what we really are becoming is sort of market analysts.
Yes.
The role of a talent acquisition professional right now is to kind of say, it's not just today, it's 6 months from now, because the pace of change is furious right now. And yes, there's a lot of that influenced by AI. It certainly is. But, I'm from Philly. I'll be old school for a second. A lot of it's about this cash money,
Of course.
right? Like where is the funding happening? Where's the money? Follow the cash. And some of that, along with some of the AI bits that we're dealing with, really force us to say it's not just today, it is 3 to 6 months down the road. And so what will we need? What are the kinds of capabilities that are going to be required for us to remain competitive, for us to penetrate markets differently? A talent acquisition professional has a really unique place in that, because you're seeing what's coming in from a candidate standpoint. What are folks coming to the table with when they're looking at roles in your organization, or what kinds of roles are they asking for in your organization? Hey, I haven't seen you looking for this kind of person, but here's what I can bring to the table. Here's the difference that I'll make for your organization. And you're the one who's sort of intake on that, seeing all of that. And I think you, as that talent acquisition professional, get to sit down with people and say, let me give you a little bit of a lesson.
Yeah.
What's happening in the market right now. It's not because I'm great. It's because this is what's being hand delivered to me, and I'm able to share with you.
Yeah, which is interesting. This reminds me when you're like, okay, we need to think about 3 months, 6 months from now. When I'll say, since we're saying number of years, over 25 years ago, when I was a recruiter, a campus recruiter at Lehman Brothers, right? But even like the whole
back in my day,
back in the day,
right? We liked it.
Yeah, that's right. When I was 5 years old, just to be clear, let's just
obviously,
right. Let's do that. What was interesting with campus recruiting, and that still goes on today, but there's like from a trend standpoint, you wanted to hire all your full times from your interns. So you hire summer interns, but it would be like but between their junior senior year, right? Or like then, right? But you would be actually hiring the interns 9 months before, and then you'd be almost talking to them the year before. So you talk about like figuring out 2 to almost 3 years, how many full-time, kids, I would say time do you want to hire? And then you'd back it out. How many interns you need? What's going to be like that? And so that workforce planning model was like crazy. And then and just in terms of way before. So what's interesting now is I hear a lot of organizations that I'm talking to tend to be like, okay, wait, where is the work for, what are the skills we're going to need?
That's right.
And not 3 to 6 months, but a year from now. And how do we start planning for that? And it's like, it's not just a month or 2 months, like it's extended out, which is a lot of what had been going on. It still goes on in campus recruiting. Right?
Absolutely.
So like, maybe let's talk a little bit more about that, like that extension and that skills and where people, and like, how do organizations like figure that out? It was challenging back in the day. It still is.
It's very challenging. First of all, I love what you're sharing, because I absolutely know that, right? I lived that path along with you, right? In doing that. First, I know, and some who are going to be listening to us chat about this are saying, interns, they've slashed our program.
Right.
I can't hire as many interns as I may want to, even though I'm forecasting for what we'll need.
Right. They're the filler.
That budget's been cut, or the program has been stunted. We put it on hiatus. I love what these terms we just said. Like, you don't have money. Or what, like, just say it.
Just say it. Yeah.
It's on hiatus. It's not a television show.
Exactly. The Philly in you is like that. I'm like, Jersey girl Jeanette is like, just say what it is. Like, there's no money. Like,
And so if you're, to exactly your point, if you're trying to do some planning, workforce planning, right, and start to look at what's going to be necessary in order for the organization to remain not just viable, but excel. And I can't sort of have a pool of people who've gotten a bit baptized in the organization as an intern, and that I can then work from to say, ooh, that I see the skill set rising for what we need here. And we can pour into this person, develop them in a particular way. We can pull them out of this department that they interned in, because we see that skill set applying more to finance or whatever it might be. We don't necessarily have all that. So I'm going to come back to some old school stuff and saying, when you're doing workforce planning, if you can't sort of prep your pipeline that way, like with interns, build realistic job previews into your process of acquisition for talent. You got to get back to some of that basic. If you can't have 3 months a summer intern program where you can see some things.
Yeah.
Get into the RJPs as being part of the interview process. Don't be afraid of that. Oh, John, but then we have to pay them. Write a check, do a 1099. Stop your complaining. It's one day or it's 2 days, whatever it is. It's not a big deal. They don't have to be an employee. They can be 1099, and you don't have to worry about what I just said. The Department of Labor says that's okay. Just relax. So like that will be helpful to kind of, again, at least get a little bit of a window. But the other thing is that, and this is for the talent acquisition professional, we've got to invest in our own when it comes to recruiters and sourcers, and again, talent acquisition as a whole. How do they determine quality and capability in the talent that they're looking at? If you're just going to hand them a job description and say, well, you figure it out, then don't complain when I'm bringing in people that, quote, don't quite fit what it is that you really mean. That two-dimensional flat job description is not helping that recruiter to really understand what they need. Help them to understand what quality looks like in these capabilities, what long-term fit is, knowing that long-term might be 3 years, 4 years. What does that mean for success in the organization? Stop complaining that they're leaving after 3 or 4 years. If that's the data telling us that's the average, just stop complaining. Work with it instead.
Yeah, work within the parameter. I think also what I'm hearing is around like the importance of partnering with the business, right? Like you got to understand, like recruiters, TA professional, heads of TA, like you have to know your customer. You have two customers, the candidates, and then whoever is your internal business. That's right. You're working with, right? That's and really understanding that, like that's
business strategy. Here's workforce planning 101, real quick. Business strategy, staffing strategy, talent management. They're your three pillars for good workforce planning. Business strategy, staffing strategy, talent management, because not all of your talent internal can you manage to fill every need. You're still going to have a staffing strategy that may include external views as well. But you're exactly right. If you don't have that business strategy, you're just kind of shooting in the dark for your staffing and talent management. What are you directing them towards?
Yeah.
I think we have time for one more question, Jeanette. Is it okay if I grab it?
You take it. I've been doing a lot more talking. So, as we said, what happened?
Thank goodness. And if this is the beginning of a trend, I think we're all happier. What I'm hearing is workforce planning is really important, but becoming much more difficult.
Yes.
The time horizons are shrinking.
Yep.
John, does that lead us to an increase in the use of gig workers? If we can't plan out 6 months from now, do we switch more to gig and just say, well, if they're here for 3 weeks and then gone, so be it?
I'm going to say yes, asterisk. The reason I'm saying that is because, first of all, if you have to know your business first, and yes, I just said the strategy, but I just mean the construct of the organization today. Yeah. If the business is not really disciplined, if it's in that sort of crazy startup phase of things, right, where every day you're sort of just responding, you're not really kind of leading things, then you're not disciplined enough to really put together a long-term workforce plan. It might serve you better to kind of get the skills that you need today, perhaps in something temporary or gig oriented, so that you can kind of get your footing, right? That to me makes sense. I don't think everyone needs to be a full-time employee. Not because I'm trying to get out of benefits or this or that. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. It's really about the maturity of the organization. You're not immature if you're not disciplined yet. That's not the opposite, right? Yeah. But if you're working towards maturity, then you become an organization that is more disciplined. The roles within the organization are more defined, and those defined roles can help to chart where the organization has to go to remain viable, competitive, profitable, the things that we need it to be.
This is a perfect way to end it, right? It's like,
hell yeah.
Those three things, profitable. I mean, I'm just like fixated on the profitable. It's like, I mean, in the end, that's like an ongoing concern. So it keeps going. Like that is.
Then it gives you the cash to do all the other wonderful things. And it's almost that closing line, John, was almost like you've done a few podcasts. Now you didn't mention
Okay.
So give us.
Yes,
I'm,
we'll
I'm
celebrate.
ordering
We're
you
gonna
to
celebrate.
share that before we drop
Yes.
off.
Sure. But First Coffee, usually Thursdays, 10 a.m. live. We just celebrated our 217th episode
With the
with the
one and only Jackye Clayton.
Jackye Clayton. Yes.
Awesome.
Love it. On that
Thank
note,
you so much.
check that one out. John, thank you.
Thank you both. This was so fun.
So fun. Always. Until next time.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.